Good afternoon, beautiful ladies, wonderful gentlemen. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Yo, the streets is talking. America's walking. Days after the election, YouTube streets is running wild. Topics and discussions is going on. People's losing their mind. Women frustrated. You can tell it just in their behavior. Guys who's, I guess we call them beta males, they are in their feelings. People thinking this world's coming to an end. But hey, we're going to talk about it. Because after we get through the emotional side of what took place with this election, we're going to go deep into the reality. And the reality is this, folks. The reality and the results of that election now will determine what states will remain red, what blue states will go red, and who you're going to continue to go for. So that's where we're at right now with this whole situation, and we're going to talk about it. We're not just going to talk about it, but we're going to also break it down because once we fully break it down, folks, you're going to see that the odds for the blue collar folks, the blue folks, is not looking too good. You're going to see that the, the chances of these red states, you're going to see the chances of them to pick up. You're going to see the momentum picking up in this next year. In 1 year, you're going to see that there's going to be more Make America Great hats on. People going to be wearing that. They're going to be wearing the MAGA hats. You're going to see is people that look like yourself. It's going to be people less afraid to come out. They're going to be coming out the closet, as we could say. You're going to see the Republicans now really come out the closet, and you're going to see new Republican people be born because they're going to say, hey, maybe we can give it a chance. The more and more the news is going to be breaking down and letting you know that stocks is rising, the more and more that you're going to hear Bitcoin going up, the more and more you're going to hear people who have money making more money, and the more and more that you're going to see that it's going to trickle down, I think the more and more you're going to understand that there's a change taking place. And as this change takes place, you're going to see more and more people side with the red shirts, the red hats. You're going to see that vote go up. And it's either you're going to sit back and you're going to complain, or you're going to actually sit back and you're going to figure out how you can get with the wave. Because, folks, in the next year or so, either you're going to hear some horrible things that's going to take place in the country, horrible things that's going to be said about this person who's in president, or you're going to see some great things that's going to take place. And you're going to say, yo, is he really going to be making America great again? Even though we have that Sean Combs situation, the celebrity hype world, we have that situation. And trust me, that is the real situation. And with that, that Trump might be aligned to that. We're going to see what's going to come about from now to May. But between now and May, folks, well, technically, you're going to know the news is going to be going in frenzy real soon. After the holiday season, the news is going to be out of control. When I say the news is going to be completely out of control after the holiday season, it's going to be kind of scary because they have to wait for the holiday season because they need you to still be within the country spirit. They can't lose their money right now. But when the world start going to, and they be talk about the news and breaking things down, you're going to see how that Diddy situation is still going to be affecting this whole political process. It's going to really come out the closet real soon. But in between there, there's a little window that if we figure out how we can get what we need to get from this opportunity right now, we're going to win. For recap, I'm going to recap for you. Excuse me. It's very important for us to realize that in the next year, Trump has one job right now. And his job right now is to convince the American people that it's okay for you to go red. He has one job right now for him to do for the Republican Party. Because if he can complete this one job, then his job is complete. I mean, like his mission is complete already in 1 year. Anything after that is just like, it's going to be like Christmas for the people if they wake up. Why? Because he has one job, and that's to make sure that the next president of this country is a red person, is a Republican. I like to say red and blue, but it's just colors to me. All it is right now is just colors. So they want the red shirts. It's like playing scrimmage basketball. They want the red team to last a long time. And Trump has one job to do. He has to prove to you that the economy is going to go great. He has to prove to you that he's going to shut down these wars. And guess what's going to happen? It's all going to happen because it's all a saga. I have the script. I just so happen to be paying attention to the script. It's all part of a saga. How do I know it's going to happen? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's all written. Where's it written? In the visible third eye, once you can see what it is. The Democratic Party, in the last 2 presidencies for Democrats, if you look at it, they had real bad times. They had inflation. You see, they had to bail banks out. It haven't been good on the Democratic Party. In the whole time of Barack Obama, we didn't hear no Reaganomics. In the time of Biden, we seen the worst economy ever in our history that we can remember since this period. I've been in this world for quite some time, and that was the worst. So Trump only had one job, and that job is to basically do what he said he was going to do. That's the one job. Bullet. I'm not saying he has one job. Is the words that came out of his mouth is to complete it. And he's going to complete that mission because they're going to make sure of it. When you have billionaires like Tesla, billionaires like Musk, Elon, coming out here and backing him, and then damn near making $1 trillion, make $60 billion after the election. Everyone's going to join. They're going to join hands because he's in now. Understand? The people with money, the people with power, the people who understand politics and economy, and they're going to join hands right now, and they're going to prosper. It's for us, people, to realize that it's not for us to join hands in unison, but it's for us to realize that this is where it's heading. This is the direction it's heading. And it's either we're going to allow it to go to shit or we're going to fix it. And I mean this for, everything, folks. We have to really know that where the economy is going. The economy is going to keep rising. Our complaints and our emotions have to be pushed to the side. And we have to come up with plans. The stock market surged 1,200 points. Bitcoin went from let's just say 1,000 to 200,000. Understand? I'm just keeping numbers simple, but not trying to break down real numbers and stats. We're not doing that. I like to use the figurative imagination. You know what I'm saying? Figurative thinking. It went from 0 to 100,000 on Bitcoin after the election. And we have to truly realize that where are we going to stand? Are we going to be mad? Well, not me, but are you going to be mad? Or are you going to figure out that this is the direction? The next president, I promise you, the next president will be a Republican. Now you have to really truly think about who are they promoting when it comes to this presidency, the next presidency. Understand what I'm saying? Because you have to watch right now who they're going to be promoting for the next presidency right now. When Donald Trump started naming his cabinet and the people, you have to really see where he's putting these people. Vivek is definitely going to be somewhere on deck if he's not going against Trump still, like and thinking that he has an issue. If Vivek fall in place, he's definitely going to be a person they're going to be able to push. They have to put. They about to make these Republican candidates marketable. They're gonna make these Republican candidates, these red candidates, they're gonna make them people likable. They're gonna make them more friendly. That's the job right now of the Republican, the Red Party. They have to be able to relate to the people. Because if they can get 30% of the, if they can get 30% of these, you know what I'm saying, blue cats, these cats like this, if they could get 30% of these people like that with the blue cats to, you know, turn red, then they win. And that's the game plan. Their game plan is to, their game plan, Zadi, is to make sure that they get the amount of people in place and get the, for the next 20 years. They need 20 to 30% of blue caps to turn red. So in this next 4 years, all Trump have to do is get a shift of, and when I'm talking about 20 to 30, I'm talking about the 20, 30% of voters that did not go vote. I'm not even talking about all those people that voted. He have to get 20, he got to get 20 to 30% of those voters that did not go vote to vote red. And the reason why the majority of those people who didn't go vote is because they probably would have voted red. And his job is to make sure that they do go red. So he's going to give victories. And that's why I'm saying people of color, it's important for you to really focus right now on your reparations plan. How you want your money allocated, what we're going to be doing with it, what we're going to be doing collectively with a percentage of that money that's going to be better in our community and better in our country. Because if I'm president, that's what I want to hear from you. It's like, if I give you this money, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with some of this money for your country, collectively? That would be a question I ask. And that would be a question I want answered for me to really feel comfortable enough for me to allocate that fund to you. And so I'm asking us to ask ourselves, what are we going to do collectively with a portion of our piece of our money to better our country? Not our communities, our country. And that's the project that we must put together. That's the plan, that's the product we must put together. If we was to get reparations, what would we do with a percentage of that reparations collectively to better our country? That's how you get reparations. You know, it's like sometimes when it comes to school, you got to give an apple to the teacher. Give that plan of what percentage of this money and this percentage of this residual income that you're going to give back to your country, or formulate a major project, a major solution for the country. It's not even like you got to give the money back. I'm talking about what we're going to do with this piece of money that's going to go towards our people of color, that's going to better the country. Are we going to build thousands of schools? But yo, M-TheeFDMG, okay? But are we going to build thousands of schools? Are we going to do that? Are we going to build some hospitals? If we got reparations right now, or if reparations was on the table right now, and we was about to get a check, and the question came to you and it said, what are you going to do with your what percentage of this money you're going to bring back to your country? What you going to do back for your country? And we said, well, we're going to organize, we're going to build hospitals, we're going to build schools, we're going to build farms, we're going to grow vegetation so that we can give back to our community. If we had the blueprint plan based on that, if we got reparations, what we're going to do, how we're going to give back to our community. I'm telling you how we get it. In the words, if we was to get reparations now, right now, 10% of each individual reparations will go back to this program, these programs, building this right here. And it's the blueprint and all that right now to give back to our country in every city, every state. Okay? If we organize, folks, we will win in this time frame because it's definitely going to be red state for a long time. Your Pennsylvania, your Georgia is going red for a very long time because a lot of people don't know that the influence that took place was not knocking on doors. The most influence that took place was online influence, folks. This election was a social media election. Umar Johnson saying that he had nothing to do with the election. Everyone that's on social media who talked about elections, who got views, had an impact on the election. Those who have bigger platforms had major impact on the elections. And so, because a lot of blue states turned red, that means that there was a major impact and it came from somewhere. The majority of people are on their phones getting information from social media. Majority of people are not getting their doors knocked on and spoken to. Majority of people is not holding an account card. Majority of people is on social media. So that was a social media election. And that's why they have the social media president in office. Because his job is to make it big again. Make elections big again. A big thing, folks. Make elections big again. Trust me, that's their job right now. It's a political party. Once we truly understand what a political party is, a political party, you might have disco one night, you might have reggae another night, you might have hip hop, you might have jazz, you might have country, you might have rock, you might have heavy metal, but it all forms underneath the political party. Well, those are all different themes, campaigns, but it's the political party. And the political party wants that bread. So they're working together. So we have to realize that the next 3-4 years, the red state job is to really, truly get more red states. And I promise you, New York is on their target. Now, I was talking to someone, they was like, oh, no, New York ain't going to turn, he said, nah, New York is not going to turn red. And I said, well, that's what we always felt about you guys in Pennsylvania. Even though, all throughout the elections, we always was hoping and praying that that wasn't the case, you know what I'm saying? Because Ohio, Pennsylvania was always like states that was like, you got to be like hoping about like, damn, I hope, as Democrats, blue states. But all of a sudden now, it changed. Georgia, it changed. Wisconsin, it changed. A lot of states almost changed. I believe that if this dude don't get locked up or something don't happen to him and he completes his 4 years, leaving out the office with his little legacy, I believe that the next Republican candidate is just going to smoothly transition to that position. It's not going to be the vice president. Understand? I know that that's what's going to happen. Is there an age restriction on the presidents over there? Because Trump is about 75. Yeah, he is. Zadie, he definitely is. But there's no age restriction when it comes to this. The only age restrictions, you have to be over 30. You can't be young. You have to be over 30 or something like that to run for president. So that's definitely the only age restriction. The youthfulness, not the. They don't say like you can't be 90 years of age and can't run. I don't think so. Nope. Yes, answering that question right there. So let me get back to where we at right now. sit down too much longer. In the next in the next year, the whole year, Trump has one job, and that's to convince the people that America is being made great again. He has one job, and that's to really make sure that people know there's no COVID right now. He has truly no distraction that's going to hurt him right now. So he is going to be party time for them. The people with the money, they're going to trust and believe in they're going to trust in the system. Okay, all those red states, they're going to trust 100% in the system. And as they trust 100% in the system, what's going to happen with these red states? They're going to get confidence, and they're going to be pumping this man. And the next year, you're going to start seeing what he called fake news. That news is now going to start becoming and showing that they are his buddy. They're going to start showing more respect. That's what's about to happen. And so once all that transition and transpired right before our eyes, we're going to witness so many red states, because what's about to happen is history. This country's about to really turn Republican. And I mean, you folks don't really know it, but this was about to happen. This country is really, truly about to truly be a Republican country. And I don't think the racist part is going to really work. It's going to actually, they're going to turn around. It's going to be reverse racism. That's what's about to happen. You're about to see reverse racism take place too. That's why the country's going to really turn red. Because if people of color, black people, go out there and really be showing their anger and frustration in ways that, remember, I said this about social media right now. All your platforms of social media it's F him. You're going to get nothing. We're going to get nothing. So we got to understand that this is very, very intimate right now. Because these states are going to turn red much faster on our reactions on situations. Because we stumped the yard, we Black Lives Matter out. We threw Barack Obama in there. We tried to throw that Kamala Harris in there, Ben Carson in there. You understand? We played the black card. We got a lot of policies. We defunded police. We did a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? We shut down the country. Black Lives Matter. And if we as black folks don't have a blueprint and plan for us right now, a real legitimate unified system, us showing organization, us showing that we are growing as a people, we about to get cut out. And that those red states will turn red, and they were going to turn redder and redder and redder. And then we're going to be thinking it's really about racism, but it's going to be about racism. It's going to be about race. It's about your lane. And that's why I be trying to tell us, we have to really understand this lane. This lane shit is deep. We really have to have more control of our lanes. So as we figure this, as we take time out to figure this out, what do you think? Do you think that the Democrats have something up their sleeve? You think that they can come up with a better candidate than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Who do you think that would be their next candidate for the Democrats? There was a young lady who had her platform. She's from Chicago. She had she was pushing her independent candidate. Who was that billionaire from Chicago? JB. You know, she was saying JB names being mentioned still. But I want to know what Democratic candidate right now, what Democratic person, what Democratic governor that you think of in your state, what Democratic mayor in your state, a senator and congressman in your state, even a sheriff in your state. But so technically, the next Democratic president have to be raised up. And I think the only way that the Democrats can win is if they have a home-based, raised Democratic person that they create, and they just push. I'm not saying that we need some bad issue to take place, but for this Democrat Party to actually get a candidate that's going to turn these states blue, it has to be someone that comes from the ground up and do groundwork things. And honestly, the Democrat Party can only focus on what they set out their mouths. They are a platform, they're a party of unification, unifying. They said Trump is about division, division, being divisive. So that's the only thing that the Democrats can do right now. They got to put together the blueprint and the plan of unity in the community. They have to have somebody run that for the next 4 years. That be their major campaign, and from there they generate their votes. So the next 4 years they need someone. That's what I'm saying. Is America need to see a hood president? Do America need to really see a hood president? I mean, I say these things, but I need you to really understand the only way that this country is going to go blue right now is if they had a phenomenon take place. Because the direction right now is red. This country is going red for a very long time. If Trump was to get assassinated, and I hate saying certain things like that, but if he was to get assassinated, it's going red. So to take that man out right now would be a bad move. The Trump maniacs will be out of control. The Trump maniacs, the Trumpsters, the Trumpaholics, they will go crazy. So therefore, like I say, if Trump can make it through these 4 years and he has success underneath his belt, the Republican Party has a 60% approval poll, yo, that next person is going to walk in smoothly. But that's why I'm saying that the next 4 years, social media have to create and develop that hood president. Now I know Umar Johnson be listening to my videos. That's why he told about I'm the black leader. No, I'm the black leader. No, nigga, you failed on that one. The only way you show leadership, bro, the only way Umar Johnson can show any type of leadership is by apologizing to me for his childish actions, his second grade nature, and then rectifying the problem with all you donors. And from there, maybe he can get a hallway pass. But like this person Lee says, you know what I'm saying? Thanks. I appreciate that agreement. You know what I'm saying? Leo, the only, like Leo said, yo, we need something to come from the groundwork. And trust me, social media ran that election. That election was ran from social media. That election was not ran from the door knocking, the comp cards. It wasn't led by that. It was truly led by social media platforms. Social media platforms. So because social media platforms is going to be the way for now, the future. You got to remember, all this presidency is all presidency now of the future. Barack Obama won because of social media. With the last, he was like the Barack Obama election was the last of the ground. You understand what I'm saying? Was the last of the ground boots on ground, hard duty work. But Barack Obama was the face for social media politics. Follow my lead, folks. We 30 minutes in now. We 30 minutes in now. We get juicy. Barack Obama was, like I said to you, this was a political party. This is no Democrats, no Republicans. It's just a political party for bread. And Barack Obama was needed for this political party for them to make politics really matter, to make that money come in. Because like I told you folks, your vote was like worth $1,700. Some states like swing state votes is worth $10,000. Maybe one day I'll do a breakdown and show you what, but I just don't have enough time. But your vote is worth money. This whole political, it really is. Just like when you get locked up, every inmate has a dollar value. Your vote has a dollar value. They said New York is only worth $100 some. But if it turns red, that value is going to go sky high. You all know that everyone who pay taxes and things like that, and they work, everyone's already in the stock market. Everyone makes money every day, no matter what, accordingly for the government. And if you're not doing anything, you're not active, they hate you. Because you're not making no bread for them. So Barack Obama was needed for this whole political movement. And he was the last hope for that democratic movement. He was a face that was needed, but like I said, he was also a face that was needed for the social media wave that was taking place. The political social media movement. Okay? So Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama's election was the beginning of that social media movement. Okay? Strongly. I'm talking like strongly. Yeah, social media been around for a minute, but I'm talking about like this was the press, this was the movement. All this other stuff is coming to a halt. This is the new wave. Podcast elections. Pay attention to Trump. He's showing you the blueprint. He says fake news. I ain't got time for you. And he's doing podcasts. His life is on the line. Understand, his life is on the line if he don't win. Because he lose, now he can have the chance to go to jail. He win, now he can escape. So you gotta understand, and he said, I'm going to podcast, and I'm doing interviews with podcasters. And I'll make them go viral. And they're going to be soldiers for my whole campaign. Shay, Cat Williams. We show blueprints. We black folks show blueprints. And once they see those blueprints, they say, run! And they run for the hills, baby, and they go. They go in those hills. They dig in those ditches. Once we show us food over here, we show them how to eat. The pilgrims come. And that's no disrespect. It's only smart. You see animals, they be eating something, and the bear see, the bear gonna come over there. What y'all doing over there? What y'all got? Why your face got red on it? Oh, let me go eat. I'm taking this. And here come the bears coming. Here come the bulls. Not the bulls, but you know what I'm saying? The hyenas. They come and take the food once they find out you got food over there. I'm coming for it. So Barack Obama showed that the social media was the way, you know what I'm saying, he was a face, quiet as cup. Quiet as cup. That Trump was needed to take it to the next level. An apprentice guy flew with it. And he ran that a term, then the next term, and then the next term. He ran 3 consecutive terms. Do you think he ran 3 consecutive terms for the Republican Party to look like failures? They bet on Trump. They gambled on him. And they won. And now he owes them a favor, which is to do what he said he was going to do. He said he's going to make America great again. He's going to be able to do it. And social media is the way. So don't spend a lot of your time right now in the algorithms with your F you. You better get the memo right now. You know what I'm saying? Get the memo right now. It's time for you to get the memo. You are being watched. Your channel is being watched. Are you going to sit at the table and eat? Or you want to feed yourselves? And if you organizing to feed yourselves and not bringing nothing to the table is preparing to cut you off. And you're not organized and strong enough to be cut off. Once you understand that, you're not organized and strong enough for you to be cut from the table. All you Pan-Africans who want to talk black power, you're not organized strong enough to be cut from the table. You know you're always going to have to come to that table. I don't give a flying F. Ask a lot of these cats about their schools, their funding, how they what made them start truly prospering. Don't think for 1 second that they're not getting help from the table. Don't think for 1 second that they're not getting some assistance from the table. That's where it's at right now, the table. How do we come to the table? How do we prepare a table before us in the presence of our enemies? How do we prepare a table before us in the presence of our enemies? Well, folks, the table's open. There's a seat at the table. Prepare your plate and bring your own food. Bring your own chefs. Bring your own gardens. We gotta organize, folks, for us to be able to eat at this table. Yo, I'm talking, I don't see no likes. Hit that like button, folks. I need a like. Stop playing. I can think better when I see a like. I can think better when I see a thumb up. Right now, I can't think. Getting brain freeze. David talking some old craziness. I'm getting brain freeze. Let me get a like, otherwise I'm gonna think I'm talking to a whole, yeah. It's either to get a like or I'm talking to a whole bunch of haters. All right, so it's like 9, 10 people in there, then be 20 people, be 5 people, 1 person. I hope I'm talking to somebody who's, filming me. So if you are, give me a little like so I can continue on. Get through an hour and a half. I wish I had my laptop and computer because trust me, there's a lot to really be talking about and showing as I'm speaking. But I have to drop this all by my dolo, you know what I'm saying? And I need some energy. Which I don't like the fact that I'm saying that the next 10 years, that 12 years is going to be red states. It's going to be red. It's going to be Republican. I don't know. Let's look at the history of Republican. Go someone Google the history of Republican and see what the Republicans truly about, and see if we're going to go back to what Republicans truly about. But in the meantime, hit the like button for me. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'm being like everyone now. Happy days is coming. Happy day to you today if you tap in first time. We're talking about the Republicans Party winning a lot of Democratic states. We talk about the Republican parties having a focus for the next 4 years. In the next 4 years, the Republican Party knows it's essential for them to win 10 to 20%. If they can win 10 to 20% of the voters who didn't vote this election, if they can get them to vote Republican, and they can get like another 10 to 20% of the people who voted Democrat to go Republican, that's a huge shift of Republicans shifting from the other side. And that's the game plan for these Republicans right now. And like I said, they use social media, and they got a social media person right now. He's big time. What's going to go through the roof? What's going to go through the roof when Club Shay Shay have Trump on it? That's going to probably do double, maybe triple of the Cat Williams views. And that's why it's important for us now. Hear me out, folks. I'm giving the plan. We got to get our blueprint to Shay Shay. Shannon, yo. I wish I had the I wish I had the range. I'm talking about power and range and to be able to reach you. Someone clip this, send it over there. Do whatever you got to do, but get this message to Shannon. We are putting together a blueprint for men. We're putting together our organization plans for this country, for men, to put ourselves in this leadership position. I need you to present this to Trump. I need this inauguration day march, rally, meeting, protest to be successful. I need you to get this blueprint to Trump. There's no other man that's really thinking about what the level I'm thinking right now. And Trump must appear on your show. You like the Arsenio Hall right now, Shannon. Or online, or as online, you the Arsenio Hall. You dig? And because you the Arsenio Hall right now, Donald Trump needs to be on your show. And once we have you, but you're going to have our agenda. We got to get our agenda to Shannon Sharp. Everybody's in position. Everybody's in place. Yo, God is great. This message is really for Shannon right now to understand that we got to play this game correctly. You the Negro Oprah. You the male Oprah right now for online. You Montel right now for online. We got to get this memo to you. And you got to get Trump on your, sit at your table. Not just yet, not right now. We got to wait until after inauguration movement. Then we have to do it because it's all going to work hand in hand. Don't rush it. After inauguration, after we stump the yard, immediately after we stump the yard, you understand? He appears on your show. We do it. It could be as staged as possible. I mean, shit. Get this memo to Trump. Stump the yard with us, Trump. Stump. I'm Trump. I'm giving you the blueprint right now to take over New York City. The way you're gonna get New York City. If you want to get New York City to turn red, if you want to get if you want to get New York City and maybe New Hampshire to turn red or Delaware to turn red, little as Delaware. In Connecticut, stump the yard with us, D.C. Join that men's march, D.C. This is what I want Trump to join the march in D.C. I need Trump to walk with us in D.C. I need Trump to agree with us in D.C. Then I need him to immediately go to Shannon Sharp's show. And Shannon Sharp is going to seal the deal. And then from there, you watch how many states are going to turn red. And I don't care about red or blue. I don't care. If Harris was in office, I would tell her the same thing. But I'm more grateful that it's Trump because I wanted a man in office for this man's movement. I wanted a man in office for this man's movement because the man's movement is most needed right now. When you look at life right now, a men's movement or a reproductive movement? What's really most important thing? Y'all better get your fucking minds right, what I just said. What's more important, a men's movement or reproductive movement? Without the man, there's no reproducing. So what's important? For that man who delivers to be right. That's why it's important for us to have this men's movement. And that's why it's important for us to have a man who's actually also have a dark secret. So everybody's on the same page. And what, you're going to kill us all? You're going to send us all to jail, huh? No, you can't do it. So it's going to take us men to fix our situation. You're going to send every man in the world to jail because they all have dark secrets. You're going to send all women to become nuns because they all have rags, dirty rags. There's a lot of women with dirty rags. Just as well as there's a lot of men with dark closets. It's, do you have a dirty heart or a dark heart? That's where we're at right now. And so it's important for us to organize this inauguration day movement. Because who's in office is who's in office. And this is what's going to be in office for quite some time, folks. Whether you like it or not. Red is going to be in office for quite some time. And the only way it's going to change, like I said, is if a phenomenon takes place and it's not political. For the Democrats to win, it has to be coming from the streets. It has to be coming from the hood. It has to be really be coming from a different zone. Birth, raised, and raised up, and the world need to see it. Maybe I need to do a reality show. I think that's what the Democratic Party need to do. Do a reality show. Looking for the best candidate. Have all sorts of people on that reality show. Oh my God, I'm just too much of a genius. I mean, how would that roll? That would be a dope show. I'm giving the Democrats. See, I just gave the red state, and I gave the Republicans a little blueprint. Now I'm giving the Democrats a blueprint of how to get in office. If you want to get back in office, do a reality show. This is like the primaries. All right? Okay? Hood president's talking right now, so maybe I will do the reality show. But you're hearing it first right here. Okay, folks? Share this right here. Still no thumbs up, but it's all good. Those people disappeared, but you're going to hear exclusive right now. You do a political reality show. The next 4 years right now should be a political reality show for your candidate. Have your governors running. Whoever wants to run for president right now, you've got to sign. Right now, email me, icydon502@gmail.com for Hood Politics. That's the reality show. It's called Hood Politics. That's my reality show. I'm looking for candidates. I'm looking for people who like to run for president. Hood Politics. Holla at your boy. That's where we at right now. Bye-bye. Hood Politics reality show. We talk about Hood Politics reality show. The reality show where candidates could be contestants on the show, and they have to do things in the next 4 years from the ground up. Start a political base from the ground up. No Democratic Party. This has nothing to do with the Democratic Party. This is all hood politics. You have to build a campaign, and you have to prove to the people that you are our candidate, the people's candidate. Hood politics. That's the only way that the Democrats can get back in office. They need to do a reality show. So that's where I'm at right now. I just dropped the bomb. Hood Politics reality show. So I got brain freeze. Like I say, the world is open right now. So I'm putting my things, and I'm laying my cards down. Here's my blueprint. Hood president. I told you I'm hood president. So you're hearing my platform today. I'm starting a political game show. Not game show, but reality show called Hood Politics, where we're going to have people compete to get our vote for the primaries. Because Kamala destroyed everything just by popping up, and this is what it is, and then losing for you guys. After $1 billion is poured in 2 seconds, that was way more. That was enough money for her to do something. But she chose to point fingers at Donald all day. Donald this, Donald that, Donald, 1 billion. I mean, 1 million, Donald, 2 billion, 2 million, Donald, 3 million, Donald, 4 million, Donald, 7 million, 10 million, 100 million. And she spent so much hundreds of millions of dollars pointing the finger at Donald Trump when she could have been really doing actual stuff on the ground. She spent so much time canceling. Therefore, it's important for us to do this reality show. So Hood Politics reality show, we're looking for contestants. This is going to be a great winter season. because we putting this all together for the inauguration day. Let me write this down. Don't get nothing twisted. Let me write this down. So we got Hood President reality show. And what did I say Trump need to do? Democrats, hood politics.
Yo,
What up, bro?
You ready?
Yep, yep. All right, no doubt. I've been waiting for you. About to conduct a meeting right now, so we're almost an hour in just to me. So now I'm about to have my meeting. Okay, folks. It's about to get juicy. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. We about to have a great conversation now. I've just been holding down the fort. We about to talk politics and we about to talk the inauguration day agenda. And you about to see it live. Hood politics, baby. It's written. What is this? Reality show, right? Hood politics reality show. Gather. And yo, this is politicians. They have to qualify too. They're going, yo, the show is going to be amazing because they're going to have to do things to qualify too. Because I mean, community activists, you can enroll principals, counselors. It's not just about these politicians now. You go and compete against them because there's so many actors, entertainers, rappers, Nas. Holla at us, Nas. It's hood politics. Why not be a contestant? It'd be nice to have you as a contestant, just to be a guest celebrity contestant. Okay? So we are like 50 minutes in. When we talk about this, I gotta remember this right here. If the Republican ruled for 12 to 20 years, we would be cooked. Conservatives killed the gold standard, sent all good jobs to the third world, and legalized stock buybacks after causing the Great Depression. When did they do that? When did they do that? They did that during George Bush's term, or what's his name? Not Lyndon B. Johnson, the Great Depression. Roosevelt? You talk about Roosevelt? Huh? That's like us talking about slavery, kind of, sort of. You know what I'm saying? But if you talk about like Reagan or George Bush, then you know, I understand. But Reagan legalized stock buybacks and signed. You know what I'm saying now? You know what I'm saying now? Like I said, if you talk about like during Reagan time or something like that, but they also have Reaganomics. Reagan legalized stock buybacks and signed. So what is wrong with a stock buyback? Explain to me a stock buyback. Explain to me. I'm a college dropout because I might not be too bad. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what a stock buyback is in the simplest form for the people. FDR, that's what I'm saying. Back in his time, FDR made stock buybacks illegal and signed the FLSA, Fair Labor Standard Act. Okay, I mean seriously, I remember this stuff when I was in high school. Because I used to pay attention, but just refresh my memory because I stopped caring and thinking about the shit when I realized, black people need to step up our game. And I was in high school, college. You know what I'm saying? Then Illuminati hit me, and then streets. And you know what I'm saying? Now where I'm at right now, I'm like, whoa. Let's talk about their politics now. What they've been doing to our world. FDR made stock buybacks illegal. So if I invest in stocks, I can't buy it back. That's what the stock buyback is. I'm gonna stop my live. Let me stop my live real quick and find out. Okay, hold on. Help me out now. You help me out. I got you as a mind for a reason. Okay, so they steal all the surplus value and labor is produced by denying fair wage increases for good. Let's go back to stock buybacks. Don't do too much talking, man. I want it for good performance, loyalty, and even basic cost of living adjustments, and they take all the sweat equity. Okay, so they steal all the surplus value. Hold on, let's read this louder. The laborers produced by denying fair wage increases for good performance, loyalty, or even basic cost of living adjustments, and they take all the sweat equity. The reason why she's a mod is because she comes in with compensation, or D. Whoever this person is, D is a D out. Do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. Do it yourself. This might be a dude. I don't know if it's a dude or chick. State your who are you, male, female? And this is why this person is also a mod, because this person comes in and always show love ASAPs. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, time out. Oh yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. But I don't have a like, so y'all messing up. About to end this live because I ain't got a like. Thank you. I was about to end the live because I ain't getting one like. Come on, man. 2 likes? 2? I can't afford nothing. My little internet went blank. Internet went blank. My service went down a little bit. Okay, DIY, no doubt. Do it yourself. I figured do it yourself would be a dude. You know what I'm saying? Do it yourself, definitely do it. Okay, DIY. You know what I'm saying? And with DIY, so people asking some things. So Tara asked you a question. She said, "Are you into that?" Well, you gotta be, sometimes, coding is real, you know what I'm saying? We got speaking codes, baby. That's all. Speaking the codes, you heard? Laborers produce and funnel it into the stock. The company buys the stock back to artificially inflate the value of the share price. Okay, so okay, you answering that question for me. Okay, thanks. I think you answered that question for me. So I asked you, what's stock buyback? And stock buyback is when the laborers produce and funnel it to the stock. The company buys the stock back to artificially inflate the values of the share price. I ain't gonna lie, yo. As a person who's trying to develop a strategy for creating stocks and things like that, it's all somewhat of a con. It's just if you can flip the money and get the money flipped, you're good. That's the most important thing, to be able to invest and flip it and get the money back so the money's always there. It don't matter what's being done. Okay, folks, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Once you invest your money somewhere else and you don't have no control of your money, hope you got that right there. I ain't even really gonna finish it. Once you, as a person, take your money and you invest it, like with Umar Johnson, you invest it into his FDMG, it's pretty much like, if you know what I'm saying, that's how a lot of times the stocks is, but the stocks has more security than him. But it's like you might take your money and now you like worried and concerned all behind the scenes with how they're willing and dealing and flipping and stealing and gaining and flipping back, because that's all takes place in the time frame. That's why it's a yield, a certain time frame. It's a harvest, you know what I'm saying? They harvesting your money. They going on boat trips. They going here. They going there. They doing these business deal over here with these other people money. They invest in there. They lose that over here, so they got to get back from over here. So they have to create bylaws for them, to be able to get through all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand it's really hood politics, then you won't be so much into the technical part of it, and you just understand that your money's now over there, and just pray that you can just pray you get it back. So that's the way I look at it. It's kind of more simple, it's way more complicated, but in the simplest form, it's simple, man. Your money's it's being so they dump like 300 million to the stock buyback, and it takes the shares price from 100 to 150. Then they pay a bunch of dividends to the shareholders, and this brings the share price down to 125. But that's what I just said that in the hood terminology. You know what I'm saying? Hood terminology is all that. You know what I'm saying? It's willing, dealing, flipping this, that, and other, and then praying that they get the money back up. But if it's down, it's down. If it's up, it's up. It all depends who is behind that stock. And that's what I'm saying. I was part of this organization called the African Stock Exchange Association Development Corporation. And I'm telling you, we as people have to we have to grow our own crops, our own people. When I say crops, I'm talking about our own people to be put in these positions. Homegrown businesses, homegrown everything. Because if we don't have that, then we're going to be mad at results 99% of the time. 99% of the time, you're always going to be mad at results because you ain't the one who's writing the script. And this triggers a massive executive bonus for their CEOs. It's basically stealing from those doing the work. A lot of people really think the world is fair. The world ain't fair. If you're not creating your own path, DIY. If we're not in control of that destination and that path, and we are, taking our time, energy, and resources and putting it to everything other, then we're always going to get everything other results. Now, it's just right people that can come in place and make it as best as possible, happy for each other. That's the only thing you can do. You can make it happy. You can't make it equal. You can't make it right if you're not in control. So we can make it more happier for you. We can make you happy in the situation what you're doing, but we can't make it right. Equal. A lot of people come into the workplace and the job and they think they're supposed to be equal to the owner, equal to the boss, equal to the idealist, the one who come up with the ideas. I don't know, it's just so sad, but this is what it is. That's why I'm always writing and trying to come up with something. You hear me? That's why I say I'm a president. I don't work no job. I'm gonna figure out the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And try to invest my own money into my own things and things like that. If I can get support from you folks, invest over here and show you every day I'm here and what we doing with it. But that's why it's important for us to really come up with a blueprint and come up with some things that we can invest in that has value, that's going to build up our part of giving back to this country. That's what we're supposed to be investing in. Things that we need to do that's going to make our country great for us. Okay? So, sorry that, people invest in these stocks and things like that and it's not working out for you. But maybe you invest in the wrong stocks. Like I say, we got to, focus on us.
The paragraph is supposed to be on the end of the last one that came before it. Okay, copy. I'm trying to follow. The stock market is a tool for the rich to further exploit it. Yeah. I'm honestly just getting with what you're saying too. So I'm just scrolling down because I'll be stuck and I'll be talking, and I'm not even looking at the chat. So bam. You know what I'm saying? But I'm already answering these things beforehand. The stock market is a tool for the rich. It's also a tool for those who's not rich. If we know how to play this game and not too worried so much about everything that's out of our control, it can be good for working people to make passive income, but it's never good for the workers of the company you invest in, because those gains on your end come from the labor of those doing the work. Hold on, let me see that. It can be good for working people to make passive income, but it's never good for the workers of the company you invest in, because those gains on your end come from the labor of those doing the work. Yo, let me put that up there. When I was working for the Marriott Hotel, I was doing room service. I liked the job because on orientation day, at the orientation, we sign, we go sit back and they talk about the hotel policies and then everything. Then they talk about the perks. They talk about, how you can get into profit sharing, and you can also take out stocks in the company. And at the time, the Marriott stock was like at $16 a share when I came in. And it was so great because, the stock of Marriott was rising, but it was at $16 a share. Then when I became part of the Marriott team, the stock started to go up. So of course I invested into stocks. You have to be there for like a year and more for you to get into the profit sharing. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't able to do the profit sharing because I actually got suspended. Then I just never went back. So that was that. But I invested into the stocks, and I made some money in that little short period of time, me being with them. You know what I'm saying? Made almost $1,000 with them and invested in stocks. So I would let them take out money out my check every time. And the way their stock go up is the value. Look, it's one of the greatest things to do is to have a company that you can invest in that company's stocks, because now it forces you to be a great worker. I think all businesses, hear me out. A small business, look, this is Hood President talking, folks. Every company, every business, shit, fuck it, private or public. If you're a school teacher, everybody. Now, call me a dictator. Fuck it. Everybody who's getting a check should put something back into where they're getting that check from. And then I guarantee you get better quality workers, more responsible workers, because you're putting their money where they at. They're gonna respect it more, because your dollar matters. That's how you make this country great. You should make it a given that everybody who has some type of employment have to put back into it. So let me see what DIY is still talking. Because when my man DIY start talking, I respond. I gotta hear what he say, because he be talking. I like that. It could be basically the company buys back its own stock to inflate the value of stock artificially. This triggers a multi-million-dollar executive bonuses and shareholders payouts without affecting share. Buybacks guarantees the share is increased. It is a form of manipulation that benefits the bogies class at the expense of the laborers. All of the money they use for the buyback is stolen. Stolen wages. Minimum wage earned 95 ounces of gold 53 years ago. That's $125 an hour in today's money. Well, we wanted to go. We wanted the dollar, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Why we not going back to gold? You know, we don't even talk gold. I spoke about that before. You know, why we not? We selling our gold. We giving our gold up. They ain't paying nobody in gold. You crazy? We don't want fair or equal. We want equitable. I mean, that could be, but like I say, it's got to be on both sides. Think of a tall fence you need to give someone enough of a boost for them to stand on it over to see the fence. But it's who you giving the boost to. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I say, a lot of folks got to understand it's time for us to really play this game correct now. We the people got to play the game correct now. Meaning that if we had in our schools investment, if we have in our recreation centers investment classes, and we was forcing in church was forcing investment, as opposed to investing so much time and energy into watching phones and watching TV and playing video games. If we had more time and learning how to invest in our communities and invest in each other. And I know it sounds corny. Invest in time. That's what I'm trying to get. Invest in the time. Then we can start building. We must learn how to invest time. That's how we're going to get that real push over that fence. Because everybody got to be bridging that gap. But as long as we have these distractions, bro, they going to win this situation, man. Because the rich people is in control, and they know how to dumb down the people, and they know how to pick up certain people they want. That's what I'm saying. What type of people they trying to have look over this fence? They don't want everybody looking over this fence. Yeah. Yes. Profit sharing is something that everyone should get. We need cooperativity. Yes, and that's I'm trying to tell you. That was very important at that time. It was very important. Profit sharing is something that everyone should get. Okay, profit sharing is something every worker should have. We need. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all right. We need cooperatively owned businesses so those doing work get fair slice of the pie. Yeah, since 1971. And yo, that money saved me, man. Because when they suspended me, I told them to give my check. Between that and unemployment, I had me some money going through that winter season. I had me some money. Well, it was just because of stocks. It wasn't because of profit sharing. If I had the profit sharing, it'd been even better. But definitely the stock money. Being able to invest into your own business. Yeah, I figured the bourgeoisie. I knew that bougie. Yeah, that's just a bougie, but that should with my vision right now. That should look like. Look, I got to get glasses, folks. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. When I say I gotta get glasses, I'm talking about this shit looks so blurry. With equal, everyone gets the same size boost. But with equitable, the boost depends on how much of a lift you need to see over the fence. Yeah, we don't really need equal. We need equitable. Yeah. Another thing, conservatives did. So another thing conservatives did was cut school funding. So they ended shop class, home ec, art, music, all those classes that create thinkers, artists, and taught real life skills. Ask yourself, I want you to answer this question. When you say another thing conservatives did was cut out, when did they cut that out of schools? With administration? What administration they cut that out? Now nobody can change a tire, let alone do the brakes and mechanics. That's what I'm saying. Answer that question real quick. What year, what administration did they cut that out? Thank you. I wanted you to put that up there for a reason. Now let's take no more questions, nothing else in the chat for 1 second. Let's stay on this right now. Don't move from here. Don't say nothing, D. Hold on, D, please. I want to read nothing. I want to just talk about this statement right here. Let's stay strong on this, folks.
The 1970s, Nixon and Ford. It was Nixon, okay, because you say Republican, so it had to be Nixon. If it was Ford, it was, you know what I'm saying, Gerald Ford. That means he was Democrat, okay? So you had Kennedy, and then you had Ford because Kennedy, no, Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson took the place of after Kennedy, right? Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson. Then you had Nixon, all right? So if it was a Republican, most likely it was Nixon. And then you also had that Watergate. Now, 1980s, 1990s, 2000. Let's go through the presidents. Let's go through the presidency, and let's go through what was our push and why, when Barack Obama came in office, he did not open that door back up. You couldn't be quiet for a second. So I just made a question. From the 1970s, it was Nixon and Ford paved the way, but by the 80s with Reagan, there was no more shop class, home ec, art, or music class in public schools. Okay, so like I say, after Reagan, okay, yeah, got you. In the 1970s, Nixon start putting an end to all those classes that had in the 60 babies, all those, that black power, they start going to band, they was getting all those shop classes where they would be at the shop now, and they becoming mechanics on the spot, and they was dropping out of school. That's the reason why, to be honest, you had the major dropout rate. Let me tell you another reason. I'm gonna tell you why I believe they, this is a theory that's coming to me. This is my personal thought. Please don't quote me. This is my personal thought on why they start cutting these classes out. Maybe because a lot of kids start dropping out because they felt they didn't even need school no more, and they was being picked up and hired by they start being picked up and hired by these businesses, and then that's why they start putting together the child labor laws, because a lot of these kids were dropping out and they was getting jerked. But as long as they was doing the work and getting a couple of dollars a day, they was not going to school, but they was going here, they was going to the mechanic shop, they was changing tires, they were doing this, they were doing, you understand? They didn't want to be in school no more. So they cut these classes out. That's just my personal theory. Remember the child labor law, child labor laws, child protection, age. A lot of these laws come in place because of reasons. So a lot of business probably was putting these kids on the spot because they was cutting the cost of paying adults. So a lot of kids started taking jobs. They was getting the training. Yeah, I know how to do that. I learned in school. And now they stopped going to school and they started getting that money. So they said, we got to start, I don't know. That's just my personal theory, because I can't look at it from an evil eye. I'm trying to look at it through two eyes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to look at life all the time through an evil eye, but I did that. My first half of living, I did that. My first half of living, I looked through life through an evil eye, meaning just one eye. So now if I look through two eyes, I can see life a little bit more differently. So it had to be a reason why these classes was cut. Because I remember the dropout rate. The dropout rate, I remember it was the articles in the papers was astronomical. In the early 1990s, late 80s, 90s. By that time, everybody, the truant officers was out of control because they was just picking up kids all over the place because everyone was dropping out. I'm a 70s baby. The 80s, the 90s, the dropout rate was astronomical. I did a report on the dropout rate. I started Project Pick Me Up based on the school dropout rate. Because I said, yo, if the kids are dropping out, they need where to go. And that's why I started Project Pick Me Up. You understand, folks? So I'm not looking at life always through a negative mindset too. These courses was cut for reasons. It was because, like I said, the dropout rate increased and child labor increased. And once we understand that, then we can understand that they have to bring some type of solution. So these classes became special courses. It wasn't mandatory to be taught. Now you have to, you can sign up for certain courses. You go to schools for that now. You understand? They made it where now if you want it, you go to the specific school. You got to get accepted to that school. If you want to learn that, they also start doing it where you work 1 week and then you go to and you go to something else, like work in the bank. You go to school 1 week and then you work. There's a lot of ways that they kept it around, but they did cut it out. But it was for reasons. That's just me. Let's put this up there for you. I dropped out of bougie private, like I said, private school, but I got my good enough diploma. But I got my good enough diploma. Was the first one out of the GED test, and my score was in the 99th percentile, no doubt. Shout out to you. You seem like a smart person. And it seemed like after you dropped out, you probably became more into schoolwork as you're talking and so talkative and knowledgeable now. You know what I'm saying? But the whole bottom line is, what made you drop out? Was you hustling on the streets? See, a lot of dudes, they drop out and they be hustling on the streets. But no matter what, when the dropout was always about because they wanted to make some money. It wasn't really because they just didn't want to be in school. It was they wanted to get out of there. They was dealing with a whole bunch of craziness in home, craziness in home, poverty. You know what I'm saying? What you say? They were out to turn the U.S. population to consumers who had to spend their money to pay other people to do the basic things. Now we are all wage and debt slaves. Well, I mean, everything had to work hand in hand because there was a lot of wars that was going on too. And so when you have all these wars that take place, they repay these countries by giving them the labor. And these countries be using their slave labor, for the labor. And then they give their country, like America, give their country up as the consumers. That's how they pay back these debts. It's real, man. They pay back debts through us. By us being consumers, that's what I'm saying. We made China who China is. America. Not China. China didn't make China because China made China from their studying, their work ethics. But our dollar made China become powerful. And that's how you repay countries for the war. It's always war debts. So consumerism is part of the collateral damage. All right? So folks, like I say, your next 3 years of this dude being in office is definitely going to be some great times because they have a job to do, and their job is to persuade you that they are the right color for your state. There's a new color, there's a coloring book that they want you to color in. It's red and blue, and they want you to color in as much red states as possible. That's what's happening right now. So Donald Trump is in office to make sure that you start making your state colorful. Even if your state is like, let me do this real quick. Let me draw something real quick. Even if your state's like this, let's say your state's like this right here. Let's say this is your state, and you can color your state. All this was like, majority of this was blue, but like right here, right there would be like red.
But they got this shit now to become like this. They can get it to become like this. And all this is all around here is blue. That's blue right there, but all this is red. That's great. If they can get half of that to be red, that's great. Especially if it was just like this in the state that's red. His job is to make this more red, folks. As much red as possible. Anything that's blue, every state that's blue, his job is to make it as much red as possible. Oh, for those who don't know, we are organizing. I said earlier, in order for this dude to win, the only way he can win is this. I'm positive. The only way the Democratic Party can win is if they organize a major competition for presidency. Not no primaries. They have to do it separate from the election. I say they need a reality show. I call it hood politics. Reality show. We're searching for our candidate. That's what the Democrats. The only way the Democrats going to make this shit become a red state again, make it become blue states again, is if they do that. That's going to be the only way they can do this. They're going to have to make the blue states. The only way they can make the blue states to stay blue or red states turn blue is if they actually take time out to organize a different type of primary, and a primary that would gain so much people's attention. And that's why I say hood politics reality show. Okay, so we're going to draw it up, folks. We're going to draw it up, and this is going to be part of Inauguration Day. I'm putting together a blueprint. Because we're not going to get the power that we need, but we have the power to say what we need to say, and they will hear. And if we put together something that's powerful, they will work it. But if we put together something so powerful, we're going to manifest it no matter what. So let's bring something to the table. I bring hood politics reality show. For the next 4 years. This is a reality show for 4 years. Looking for contestants, looking for candidates, looking for mayors, governors, attorney generals, lawyers, doctors, sanitation workers. You have to get, for you to be part of this, your first step is you have to get a petition going. Not, we use the word petition, but people have to sign your petition for you to participate with this whole thing. You need at least a certain amount of people to be on this show. Use your social media as a means. Like I say, this is going to be a social media election out of control. In the next, every year it's going to be more social media, and that's why we are putting together a social media game show, Hood Politics. We're searching for the right candidate, Republican or Democrat, but this is really for the Democrat Party, okay? I'm just, I guess the insanity greed is kicking in because I know it's a good thing. So I'm like, man, make it big. But this is really a blueprint for the Democratic Party. If you guys want to win, you need a social media candidate. Because the Republican Party is going to do a great job. And if they jump in with this whole thing too, then you got problems, to be honest. You don't want the Republicans to be part of this right here because they're going to really make you look bad. Yo, think about this reality show. Imagine, matter of fact, it gotta be both sides. And at the end of the 4 years, when all the contestants narrowed down, guess what? The party has to support, all contestants have to support that candidate. Otherwise, you'll be fine. That's going to be in the bylaws. All contestants that participate with this have to support one side. You don't only have to be the blue side if you blue. It could be the red side if you red. But you have to choose someone. And so let's say you choose someone that's continue on, but let's say that party lost, that person lost, your vote still count. You still have to choose the next person, all the way down to the last two candidates, and you have to pick a side. So even though you are out of being a contestant, your voice still counts in this whole run for the 4 years. A 4-year primary is what we about to organize online, Hood Politics. Kicking it off Inauguration Day. So let's get that down on paper. So we're doing a 4-year primary. Each contestant after losing must support another all the way to the last two. Okay, folks? I know it looks sloppy, but I write like a blind doctor. Okay? It's the bylaws. We putting together, that's for Hood Politics reality show. Right now we're putting together a reality show. It's called Hood Politics Reality Show. And we are looking for contestants, whether you're a nurse, a doc, I don't care, a teacher, a principal, if you're a janitor, if you have a following, if you have a platform, you want to become I'm talking about president. We want to put together this reality show. We look for principals, like I said, we look for presidents, like I said, we look for mayors, like I said, we looking for attorney generals. We're looking for guidance counselors. Because there's some in schools, there's some good people. In the school system, there's some real good people. After school program directors. Understand? Congress, senators, all candidates that want to run for the election, if they was part of this game show, it would build their character. People would get to know them. They must be on this show. Thank you. Good luck. One more time for the people in the back. I got to remember 50 minutes in to go back to that. So 50 minutes in, I was talking about something, and I want to go back to what I was talking about. So that's why I'm writing my notes. We're doing a reality show. It's called Hood Politics. Right now, we got to gather politicians to become contestants. Okay? It's a 4-year primary show. And they will be doing various things in the community. Okay? We're going to come up with the blueprint. We're going to come up with the blueprint for these people. We will be launching this in 2025, folks. 2025 got to be a year of us doing things. And if we start the year off with this Inauguration Day rally, bringing this to the table, bringing a lot of agendas to the table, as men, we're going to shake this whole political process for the future. We're not going to worry about what was in the past because our future's in our hands. I don't care about what was cut. Is what we're going to build, what we're going to stitch up, what we're going to connect, what we're going to bring back, what we're going to establish. That's our new focus. And that's where we at, folks. So I'm going to allow a few more questions or a few more opinions and a few more statements. Tap in, you know what I'm saying? Tap on the chat. Tap on the chat, because you can't tap on the line, but tap on the chat. Tell me how you feel, whether you are Republican or Democrat, how you feel. Do you think that the Democrats have a chance? That's the next question. Do you think the Democrats have a chance of getting a Democrat president in after Trump? Let's look at the last few years of presidencies. You had George Bush Jr., he caught 8 years. Then you had that's Republican. So let's write this down. Let's write down the chart since Bush. Red time, blue time. That's what we're gonna put. We're gonna do the math. All right, we're gonna do the math, folks. All right, we call this red time since George Bush. So since the beginning of 2000. So this is new history now. Okay, so we talk about new beginnings. Bill Clinton couldn't even make this timeline. Do you want Bill Clinton to be in the timeline? Fuck it. It's all about Ronald Reagan, all right? It's all about Ronald Reagan. Fuck it, all right? It's all about Ronald Reagan. So we begin. Then we go back to Jimmy Carter. Where do you want to play it, folks? Jimmy Carter's still alive, so we go back to Jimmy Carter. Fuck it. All right, so Jimmy Carter, he caught 4 years. So it's 4 years D's, 4 years, okay? Then after Jimmy Carter, it was who? George Bush. George Bush Sr. He caught 4 years. So it was 4-4, so it was tie, okay? So then after George Bush, it was Bill Clinton. So Jimmy Carter, JC, George Bush Sr., then Bill Clinton, BC. So he got 8 years. Okay, so now you got 12-4. So you had 12 Democrat, and this is the timeline from 1980s, beginning of the 80s, okay? So all that 80s baby shit, right? So 80s babies. So I'm talking to us. I'm talking this generation right here. This is our timeline. I could go into the 70s, but I don't want to. I didn't even want to go all the way back here, but I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for us, so you can see the math. See what the math, not mathing, okay? Let's get the math, okay? So now you had Jimmy Carter. What year was he president? 80 what? Because I remember I did the vote when he ran against Reagan. I was in the first grade, I think, second grade. What grade was I in when I did the vote? So Jimmy probably came in the 70s to the 80s. Yeah, he came in from the 70s to the 80s. Okay, Jimmy Carter came in from the 70s to 80s, then it was Ronald Reagan. So, I forgot Ronald Reagan. My bad. Oops. Why didn't somebody tell me? Okay, so Jimmy Carter. Let me go back. So you had Jimmy Carter. I wanted this to keep it with Ronald the 80s, though. You know what I'm saying? That Ronald Reagan would represent the 80s. But I just wanted to give Jimmy Carter because he was still alive. Okay, so you have Jimmy Carter. He came in, right? And then you had George Bush. Then after George Bush, you had Ronald Reagan. See, that's why I messed up. RG. No, George Bush. Who did George Bush lose to? I'm dumbing out. Why am I skipping? George Bush was underneath Ronald Reagan. I'm switching the power. The reason why I'm switching the power is because what I know that even though Ronald Reagan was president, it was really George Bush. See, I'm bugging out. Yo, this is crazy. When you have some information overload, you be bugging the fuck out. Excuse my mouth. All right, so we're going to scratch that. Too much information, I'm messing up my own timeline. Okay, so here's the timeline. Blue state, red state. Okay, I'm writing like I'm Arabic. I'm writing from this way, that way. So you had Jimmy Carter, bomb. He had 4 years. Then you had Ronald Reagan, because Ronald Reagan beat Jimmy Carter. Ronald Reagan caught 8 years. Okay, this when all the Democrats, like my household, this when I was learning about being a Democrat. It was like, oh man, we got another 4 years of this guy. Oh, and it was just feeling the pain on the inside, and you not even know what's going on in the world, but just people emotions made you think that we was already destroyed. So these are red states, blue states. So Jimmy Carter came in, Jimmy Carter came in, he got 4 years. Ronald Reagan came and got 8 years. Railroad. Then, after Ronald Reagan, came George Bush, right? Who's after Ronald Reagan? George Bush. GB. Yes. He came and got 4 years. He got 1 term. So, after George Bush came Bill Clinton. So we had JC, then we have BC. Bill Clinton got 8 years. Then after Bill Clinton came George Bush Jr. He got 8 years. So now we have 20 years of Republicans, 12 years of Democrats. By the time George Bush Jr. was in office, hate, let me put this word hate, because this is very important. Hate was the real topic. Because like I said, in between here, this division in between all right here was a lot of emotions. So emotions was high. We're gonna call this mountain emotions was high. Because coming out this time frame, the 70s babies, we had Jesse Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He's coming from the 60s movement and 70s and black power, black power, black power, black power, black. That's like black power was like Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? It's all through black power, black power. See, I'm showing you a timeline. Black power, black power, black power. So that by this time frame, a lot of these folks over here was kind of like, what can we really do for these black power people when they over here, people could say, well, they threw drugs in the community at this time, you know what I'm saying, and they destroyed our communities. They could say that. But realistically, they threw drugs out here, period. Not just within a specific community. They threw drugs out here because drugs was a business. So drugs was not just thrown over here. Drugs was thrown everywhere. Okay, so in between, like I said, in between this, I'm gonna keep it in between. Drugs come. So you talk about emotions, then you talk about drugs. It wasn't just because it was in over here. Drugs was in between. It was a drug addiction across the world. Now, why did these folks over here, because this folks over here mainly color folks, you know what I'm saying? But why did these folks over here, color folks and white folks, knowing they are going through hardship, embrace that, and it's still an issue to this present day? It's going around full circle. Like a maze, okay? That's the thing right now. And where drugs is at. All this right here is the maze. So right now, the nucleus was emotions, and then the remedy for emotions was drugs. So dealing with the emotions from this right here, this timeline of life, going backwards, from the 80s going backwards, the emotions are so high, and depression and state of emotion is like retards. They gave you drugs because it's business. And with the drug business, it's who can profit off of your emotions. And so the future is profiting off your emotions, okay? And so for us to win, we have to stop being so emotional people. That's why I say for us to win, we need to focus on building a politician as opposed to being mad at politics, putting politicians as they win and come in office, instead of worrying. So let's get back to this timeline, because I just broke down some real deep shit. I like that. Okay? Yeah, I like that. And the emotions was hate. Remember, I built that from hate. I forgot that. Because I'm looking through the phone. I'm not even looking on my paper. As you seen on your phone, that's how I'm looking at it. So I'm looking at it through with your eyes, but I forgot to put hate first. So hate was in between both parties. Let me explain for everybody who's just popping up. And from the hate, the hate was from the past and all the teaching of the past. Black power, building black power, but not showing black power. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak black power and you demand black power, but you don't show, and the black power is not on this side, so you want over here to represent and recognize and show love for black power, but over here you have nothing that represents and show black power. You just show I need. So over here, instead of you showing black power, instead of these blue folks showing black power, they begged for black power, and then they ain't show nothing except for, where's that? Hate and acceptance of drugs, and because the emotions of hating each other now they destroy each other, and someone's going to profit off of that retardation, because that's what it is. It's called retardation, and somebody's going to profit off the retardation of your emotions of hate. So as long as you keep this cycle going, emotions of hate, there will always be drugs for that shit. So if you hate yourself, kill yourself. That's how they look at it. But we give you the drugs for it. And we give you everything in between here that will make you keep this cycle going, because we realize this cycle right here is big business. So let's go back to the timeline. So now we have, for those who just popping up, we talk about the timeline of different presidencies since the 1980s beginning. We talk about how we had Jimmy Carter, he caught 4 years. Then we have Ronald Reagan, he caught 8 years. Then we had George Bush, he caught another 8 years. So they was in office, red states was in for 12 years. Then we caught Bill Clinton, because Bill Clinton, he stopped that New World Order at that time, because George Bush was definitely about to push it. And then Bill Clinton came in and he kind of he slowed it down a little bit. And then he caught 8 years. And then George Bush Jr. came in and he added, so now it's 20 years of red states and 12 years. So then what happens? Barack Obama comes in. BO comes in. And BO gives another 8 years. Now, I was saying to everybody, I said, if y'all know the timeline of the Democratic Party, they never get back-to-back. They never get back-to-back terms, especially of 8 years. So it went for Bill Clinton. Al Gore didn't get it. I knew he wasn't going to get it, so George Bush Jr. got it. Okay? So they split the back-to-back. So now it goes back to the Democrats. So then Barack Obama comes in office, right? And he gets 8 years. So now you have back-to-back of 8-year terms, but not back-to-back presidency. So I knew it was going to go to Trump. I knew Trump was going to get it. Because they ain't going to do that back-to-back of Democrats. Hell no, that's 8 years, 12 years back-to-back, or even 16 years. Hell no, that's not happening. So Trump caught in between, he got 4 years. Democrats know that the Republican Party can get back-to-back. They don't have no problem giving back-to-backs. That's why they really did everything they could get Trump out, because they know that Trump was supposed to got the back-to-back. But they did, and they got him out. So then they gave Joe Biden, JB, and he got 4 years. So let's add up these years. 4, 8, that's 20, 24 years. 24 years, and let's look at them. 16, 24. 24 years, okay, folks? So right about now, it's equal. Okay, so Joe Biden made the equals for 24 years, and now it goes back to the Republican side. So now it goes back to Trump. Remember, Biden split up the 4. He split up that 4. Trump made sure he got back his 4, but now it's going to be a consecutive Republican. This is on halt. 24 years of this. This is really on halt, folks. And I want to explain to you why I know it's on hold. The reason why the Democratic Party is on hold because they did everything that they could do for history. You had your black president in, you had your white woman to run for office, then you had your colored woman to run for office. So they gave the Democratic people everything that they wanted. Okay? They gave the Democratic people everything that they needed for them to be passive and pacified enough just to fall in place for the Republic. Because the Republican Party is going to rule for quite some time now. Go back to this timeline. Like I said, it's even. So they had Trump comes in now. He makes it 28 now. Now they got 28 years. They supposed to get 28 years now. That's only 4 years from them. They normally get a nice lead. Therefore, this next person all depends on Trump's candidacy. Okay? The world of the Republic, the Republican, the red states, is all on this 80-year-old man and what he can do to get these folks to, like I said, these folks to go red, the blue state to go red like this. His job is to make a state that's like this. If the state is like this, and it has little red states, little red dots all over the place like this, but it's majority blue, all that filling is blue, but that's red. His job is to make it like this. Fill it in. It's all the dot is supposed to now turn red. If he can do that and do that every single state, turn a little bit more red, that's a job well done. The Republican Party goes back in. Not to make it full red state, but to turn it a little bit red, that's going to get the votes in the wave that's needed. I apologize. His job, I apologize. Here's my words again. His job is for those people who was blue, all those who was red like the dots, and the state was blue. His job is to get all those blue folks, remember all those blue folks to turn red in every single state. And if I'm talking about while he's in office, I ain't talking about for the election. Because for the election, if all those people who now, the job that he did is complete. When election place starts running, the next person who's running, their job is to convince to all those who didn't vote that it's okay for you to start supporting me the same way these people are now supporting. Because if you can get all these people now to start supporting, wearing red hats, they got the hats on, they got the shirts on, and now you're seeing it more, you're seeing it on your lawn, it's going to make that swing vote come out. It's going to make those people who don't vote come out. And if they come out and vote, that's going to make the state completely red state. So Trump's job is to get those people who voted red, who voted blue to start voting red. And then the next candidate's job is to make those who didn't even vote come out to vote red because of what they've seen. This is about to go on for quite some time. It's going to be red for quite some time, folks. Because most people is tired of this right here. BS. They tired of BS. And most of the black bullshit is coming from So most people tired of blacks bullshit. So now you're going to have all other Americans. What's all the other Americans? Indian Americans. What's all other Americans? Asian Americans. Okay, see, as long as we moving on this hate, and we're gonna keep that division going, the emotions, Black Lives Matter, Black Power, Black Lives Matter, but not doing anything on this side really tangible, where you don't have nothing to show for what you're begging and asking for and demanding and demanding and demanding. and you still on this side, there's gonna be so many Hispanic, can't spell it right because I'm looking through the phone. Hispanic. So now you talk about the Asian, the Indian, the Asian, the Indian, the Hispanic vote is going this way. And they're gonna be looking at you like F y'all. They're gonna be like F y'all. Because y'all demanding all this stuff and you're making all this stuff and you really promoting hate. They're gonna start calling you out that you're really promoting hate. Why? Because Sean Combs is in the headlines. And they from now all the way through May, their job is to discredit black men 100% and have him the face of the LB da 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 da. I can't even write that in my book. Okay? So once we become valueless and become all the way down to a ditty, we're going to have no value unless we start doing stuff like this. Unless we start representing black power, we ain't going to have no value over here. Because the bullshit of the black lives, the black people, is what the world is getting tired of. They don't care about your Megan Stallions on the stage. They don't care about these little whores running around on the stage. They don't care nothing about that. Hit the like button, please, folks. I do need a like or two. We almost 2 hours in, and I ain't got but one like. And I'm writing. I'm using pen and paper. I'm doing the Steve Allen. What's his name? Steve. What's that commentator? Whatever that dude name is. Al, whatever his name is. Steve, whatever his name is. I forgot the man's name. If I were president, I would end the war on drugs and regulate drugs first. Then I would make stock buybacks illegal and probably make a new currency that had blockchain technology like Bitcoin. This person is delusional. You delusional. Let me get this out of here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to delete you. I'm gonna have to remove you because she's lost. Tell me what candidate that you would like to see run for office for your next presidential, your next presidential election. Tell me what candidate you would like to see. I ain't even pin that up. I'm gonna have to remove it. Sorry, I gotta remove it. It was a waste of time. Okay, folks, so I'm really dropping. I'm really dropping. I'm really dropping the jewel for you because I'm trying to give you the timeline of the future. So from the 1980s of having Jimmy Carter in office, he got this 4 years. Then you had Ronald Reagan, he got his 8 years. And who was Ronald Reagan? He was an actor. Then you got George Bush following. Okay, that's the back-to-back. Was this the last back-to-back of presidency? I think that was one of the last back-to-backs. You had Ronald Reagan and then his vice president. And then that's like one of the last back-to-backs where the vice president took office right back after him. They came back over here with Obama and Joe Biden, but there was a break in between because you had Trump. And Biden broke up Trump back-to-back, but Trump got back in office. So we won't say he got a back-to-back, but he got his 2 terms in. That's all he wanted. He's proud about that. But no back-to-backs in regards to Democrats. No back-to-backs. And when I looked at 3 Democrats, I'll never recall a back-to-back of Democrats. And maybe so, but I don't recall. So with that all being said, I'm trying to let you see that the only way that the Democratic Party can be able to get a Democratic president in is if they follow my blueprint. Hood politic, reality show. A reality show searching for the right candidate. It will be a 4-year primary. Each contestant, after losing, must support a different candidate, and they must show community activist skills. That's how we're gonna do it. All right, folks, I got some work to do. You know what I'm saying? I got some work to do. I'm preparing for another live. I got another live I'm doing a little later on. This is gonna be a very interesting one. Let me show you some of the notes, okay? So you can, let me show you the notes. Let me stand up for this. So you, this is my next live, folks. Why this one dead like that? Okay. This is the next live. This is the notes I already have prepared for this next live, okay? This is my next live, folks. You want to join me? I already have the notes prepared. We'll be talking about this. Diddy bomb accuser, okay, folks? That's what we're going to be talking about because her story is the story. Her story is the story. Her story is the story because her story talks about these cats. Her story talks about the little girl Ava. Her story talks about people like J-Lo and her nasty ass. And what J-Lo did to little girls. And it also talks about and he owes. Thank y'all for your listening ear, your support. Tune in a little later, folks. Tune in later. You don't want to miss this one. Peace, 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 peace.